up the coals, bring the flavor. It's time to crown the King of the Grill. Maggie King of the Grill 2026 is calling you. Think you got the creativity, the skills, and the fire to rule the grill? This is the ultimate showdown for chefs, backyard masters, and the food lovers alike. Step up, show your talent, and claim your spot among the best. With over $5,000 in cash and prizes to be won, the stakes has never been hotter. Happening Saturday, May the 30th. Register now. Call or WhatsApp 407-8458. But hurry, registration close April the 30th. Don't wait. Bring your fire, bring your flavor, and bring your A-game. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026, where champions are made on the grill.
This is the luncheon edition of news for today, Friday, May 8th, 2026. Coming up in the news, Grenada signs major contracts on the Resilience Improvement Project, and member states of the OECS urged to remain vigilant, especially at ports of entry, in an effort to guard against the hantavirus. In the region, police intensify search for killers after triple homicide claims the life of a 1-year-old and 2 others in Trinidad and Tobago. On the international front, Russia and Ukraine accused each other of breaching Victory Day ceasefire. And in sport, Gonzalez says West Indies cricket better managed under Cameron. We have details to these and other stories when we return. The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Bryden and Miners.
Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GBN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GBN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gbn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
Welcome back and thank you for joining us. The government of Grenada has taken a major step towards strengthening the country's disaster-resilient infrastructure. As part of the Grenada Resilient Improvement Project, 3 significant contracts have been signed, totaling $15 million. The project aimed to improve access to critical infrastructure and enhance the country's ability to respond to climate-related disasters and emergencies. Specifically, the contracts include the construction or reconstruction of the Balthazar Bridge in St. Andrew and 2 coastal protection projects in Subic, St. Andrew. The Balthazar Bridge reconstruction contract, awarded to General Earth Movers Limited of Trinidad and Tobago, is valued at over $23.8 million. This project is expected to take 13 months to complete and will significantly improve access and safety for residents, especially during heavy rainfall and flooding. In addition to the bridge reconstruction, 2 coastal protection projects have been awarded to General Earth Movers Limited and Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited of St. Lucia. These projects, valued at $4.3 million and EC $11.2 million respectively, will involve the construction of rock and step revetments along the coastline, reducing coastal erosion and protecting nearby infrastructure. All 3 projects are expected to be completed within 13 months, marking a significant milestone in Grenada's efforts to enhance its disaster-resilient infrastructure. The head of the World Health Organization, the WHO, said the public risk of hantavirus is low as concerns continue to mount over a rare but deadly rodent-borne virus linked to the fatal outbreak aboard a cruise ship near the Cape Verde island. Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, Director General of the WHO, delivered a briefing on hantavirus Thursday morning, marking the first time the agency has held a dedicated update since the outbreak was confirmed earlier this week. The briefing comes as international health agencies work to trace infections, investigate transmission, and reassure travelers following a cluster that left 3 people dead, several others hospitalized, and passengers from more than 20 countries stranded offshore. WHO officials have said the first infected passenger may have contracted the virus before boarding, but investigations are ongoing. And that case was first reported on April 6th. He said there are 8 suspected cases so far, including 5 confirmed infections. 3 people have died and 1 person is critically ill. The cruise ship is now sailing to Spain's Canary Islands, where it is expected to dock in the coming days. And finally, on the local front, the 4-H revolving livestock project continues to make strides in youth development and agricultural education, with another contribution aimed at strengthening the program. 1 ship was recently handed over to the 4-H Club of the St. Martin de Porres RC School through a donation from 4-H student Dashon Ross. The contribution is being hailed as an example of the program's lasting impact and the importance of giving back to the next generation. The Revolving Livestock Initiative is designed to provide students with hands-on experience in animal husbandry, responsibility, and entrepreneurship while encouraging continued participation in agriculture. The donation by Ross reflects the core values of the 4-H movement, where former members continue to support and mentor young participants as the program grows across communities. School representatives and 4-H officials expressed gratitude for the contribution, noting that the project continues to foster learning opportunities and strengthen youth involvement in agriculture. The 4-H Revolving Livestock Project remains an important part of agriculture education efforts, helping students develop practical skills while promoting community support and sustainability. Here ends the first segment of the news, which came to your compliments, Brighton and Miners. The original Outlook is up next.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted number 1.
Thanks for staying with us. And now for a probe across the region. Police intensify search for killers after triple homicide claims the lives of 1-year-old and 2 others in Trinidad and Tobago. This and more in today's OCM News report from the OCM News Network. This segment of the news, the second segment, comes to you compliments Fortune Foods Limited.
Fire up the coals, bring the flavor. It's time to crown the King of the Grill. Maggie King of the Grill 2026 is calling you. Think you got the creativity, the skills, and the fire to rule the grill? This is the ultimate showdown for chefs, backyard masters, and the food lovers alike. Step up, show your talent, and claim your spot among the best. With over $5,000 in cash and prizes to be won, the stakes has never been hotter. Happening Saturday, May the 30th. Register now. Call or WhatsApp 407-8458. date. But hurry, registration close April the 30th. Don't wait. Bring your fire, bring your flavor, and bring your A-game. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026, where champions are made on the grill.
Police in Trinidad and Tobago are giving the public the assurance they will vigorously look for the criminals who shot dead 3 people, among them a 1-year-old child. The shooting occurred yesterday morning in Belmont, a suburb of the capital. The dead are 23-month-old Akani Kafi, his father, Akil Kafi, and a family friend, Anthony Wilson. Akani's mother remains hospitalized. In a media release shortly after the incident, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service shared that acts of violence involving innocent people, especially children, will be met with a focused and relentless response. Speaking with reporters at the scene, Assistant Commissioner of Police Richard Smith suggested that a significant amount of resources will be dedicated to solving these killings.
This type of murder, this child would have turned 2 years in 2 weeks' time. So it's quite ridiculous at this stage, and we are not taking this lightly at all. What I'm seeing here are blatant criminals, and we will be going after them.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Suzette Martin appealed for calm in the Belmont community and noted it is important that residents do their part.
I went to the community to stay calm, and I'm asking these citizens in this area to communicate with the police and share any information that may assist in the investigations. We have our intelligence and operational teams on the ground, and they are doing patrols and gathering information in the area.
She said operational teams are already on the ground and they are doing patrols and gathering information in the area. The Caribbean Public Health Agency says the risk of hantavirus infection in the region remains relatively low following a reported outbreak on a cruise ship in the Central Atlantic Ocean. According to the World Health Organization, 8 cases have been identified so far, including 3 confirmed, 5 suspected, and 3 deaths. Hantavirus is mainly spread through contact with infected rodents or contaminated urine, droppings, and saliva. CARFA is urging member states to remain vigilant, especially at ports of entry, and to strengthen vessel surveillance and public health systems. The agency says it will continue monitoring the situation and supporting safer tourism across the region. The most relentless voice on the subject of anti-gang legislation in Barbados, former opposition leader Ralph Thorne, is expressing a deep sense of relief that the bill is finally heading to the Parliament. It is due to be laid in the House today. Speaking with Starcom Network News yesterday, the King's Council said its introduction is long past due and reiterated the impact it can have in addressing violent crime, as long as police will be allowed to enforce it.
I have long agitated for anti-gang legislation with the desire that justice could be done in circumstances where the origin of violent crime seems to stretch beyond the actual perpetrators. Legislation is only a part of that process to render to every man his due, which is really a definition of justice. One will therefore first wish to examine the content of the legislation to judge the seriousness of Parliament's intent. After Parliament has enacted the legislation, it becomes subject to the further test as to whether power and authority will coalesce exclusively in the hands of the police. One always wishes to avoid the dangerous prospect of power not conceding to authority where they remain separate.
Meantime, Barbadians have shared their views on what potential impact anti-gang legislation will have on reducing criminal activity in the country.
Welcome back. And now for a look at what's making news on the international front. Well, Russia and Ukraine have accused each other of violating separate ceasefires declared by each side to cover the celebration of the Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany. The Russian Defense Ministry reported more than 1,000 violations in the conflict zone, while Moscow's mayor said the city has been targeted by drones since the ceasefire began at midnight local time. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a ceasefire for the 8th to the 9th of May ahead of Victory Day celebrations on Saturday. Kyiv had earlier called for an indefinite truce starting May 6th. Russia has warned Ukraine not to try to attack the Victory Day parade in Red Square. Its defense ministry has threatened to launch a retaliatory massive missile strike on the center of Kyiv if Moscow is attacked. It has warned foreign diplomats to leave the Ukrainian capital ahead of May 9th. For the first time in nearly 2 decades, there will be no military hardware at the parade, while the Russian capital is on high alert over the fears that Ukraine could try to disrupt the event. Keir Starmer says he is not going to walk away after early English Council results show Reform picking up seats in former Labour heartlands. Here's more in this report.
The UK's governing Labour Party has seen huge losses in local elections. It's causing renewed speculation about a leadership challenge against Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. But he says he's going nowhere.
We were right to emphasise to the country the difficult inheritance we had, the challenges we face, but we haven't done enough to convince people that things can improve, their lives can get better, the hope. And I'm not going to walk away from that challenge.
Nigel Farage's Reform UK party has recorded major gains.
I think overall what's happened is a truly historic shift in British politics. We've been so used to thinking about politics in terms of left and right, and yet what Reform are able to do is to win in areas that have always been conservative, but equally we're proving in a big way we can win in areas that Labour have dominated, frankly, since the end of World War I.
Pollster Joe Twyman says it could herald the end of the traditional two-party domination of British politics.
We have seen very much a replication of what we were talking about going into these elections, specifically that collapse of the two main parties, but at the same time a complexity of the political landscape that really we haven't seen before in this country.
Good afternoon, sporting fans, and now for your sporting highlight. Well, former Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves have intensified his criticisms of the leadership of Cricket West Indies, saying regional cricket was better governed during the tenure of former President Dave Cameron. Gonsalves, a long-time regional cricket advocate and former chairman of the CARICOM Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on Cricket, said he now regrets supporting current Cricket West Indies President Kishore Shallow for the top post. Shallow has served as president since March 2023 after previously holding the role of vice president under former Cricket West Indies president Ricky Scarrett. He was part of the administration that defeated Cameron in the 2019 Cricket West Indies elections. Over the past 2 years, Gonsalves has repeatedly criticized Shallow and the Cricket West Indies board over the performances of the West Indies men's team, including the regional side's heavy test defeat to Australia last year. The Vincentian former leader has also argued that Shallow should have stepped aside from his Cricket West Indies role after entering frontline politics in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and later being appointed Minister of Tourism. Despite previously backing Shallow's rise within regional cricket administration, Gonsalves has publicly stated that he has not seen the improvements in West Indies cricket that he had expected under the current leadership. The criticism adds to ongoing debate across the Caribbean about governance, accountability, and the future direction of West Indies cricket. And here ends your sporting highlights. Do stay with us. We do have a recap of the headlines that made the news today when we come back. Recapping the headlines that made the news, Grenada signed major contracts on the Resilient Improvement Project, and member states of the OECS urged to remain vigilant, especially at ports of entry, in an effort to guard against the Hunter virus. In the region, police intensify search for killers after triple homicide claims the lives of a 1-year-old and 2 others in Trinidad and Tobago. On the international front, Russia and Ukraine accuses each other of breaching Victory Day ceasefire. And in sport, Gonzalez says West Indies cricket better managed under Cameron. This has brought us to the end of the luncheon edition of news for today, Friday, May 8th, 2026. On behalf of the entire news team, I have been your presenter, Christlina John, wishing everyone a safe weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.